But we are going to start here today with jury selection in the involuntary manslaughter trial of James Crumbley. Again, he is the dad of the Oxford High School shooter. Over 300 jurors have been called to the Oakland County Courthouse this morning, filling out questionnaires, and now the prosecution and defense have to start to go through and see if they can pick a jury. Let's head out to Sean Lay. He has been at court since about 8 o'clock this morning. All right, Sean, go ahead and give us an idea, since we can't have our cameras rolling inside that courtroom, what's been going on so far today.
Sure, no cameras in a courtroom for jury selection. Jurors, they expect privacy, of course, because they have a big decision to make. This jury not even close to being seated yet. Now, Christy, as you know, and you've been really spelling out this really well, this is almost the exact same trial as Jennifer Crumbley here. But we have a different situation when selecting a jury. Finding a jury of people here in Oakland County who may not have heard much about the Oxford school shooting, or didn't dig much into the Jennifer Crumbley trial, that's going to be more difficult than selecting a jury for the Jennifer Crumbley trial. So here's where we're at right now. Slow process here on day one. James Crumbley was brought in the courtroom. He was asked by Judge Cheryl Matthews, the same judge in the Jennifer Crumbley trial, that if he was confident and ready to go forward with his attorney, Mariel Lehman, who had split the case now from Jennifer Crumbley and her attorney, Shannon Smith. And he said he was. He was dressed in a gray suit. He had headphones on that aid in his hearing. He is sometimes hard of hearing. He said he could hear everything. He went out, and then very little since then. 308 jurors, potential jurors, called here. They're in a different wing of the county courthouse. They're filling out a jury questionnaire, and that questionnaire is likely going to ask them what they know about the case, what their views are on handguns, parenting, parental involvement when it comes to handguns, when it comes to school safety, things of that nature, when it comes to mental health. They'll be asked those questions, the sheets will be filled out, and then we expect now, after lunch here, that a group of 100 potential jurors at a time called up to Cheryl Matthews' courtroom. She'll ask the potential jurors questions about their views on these things, parenting, handguns, that sort of thing. And they'll whittle down this pool then. Prosecutors are allowed to ask questions, so are defense attorneys, Mariel Lehman as well. And you and I have talked before, Christy, and you had pointed out that there'll be more challenges here, that the attorneys, prosecuting attorneys and the defense attorney, more challenges to these jurors to kind of whittle down just the type of juror that they want for this case, someone who can be completely fair and impartial moving forward. And what really is another groundbreaking case here, Christy.
Yeah, Sean, can you give us an idea of how long lunch is going to last and when they're going to convene back again?
I'm going to head in right now. So it's 12:30. Of course, the daily is on. We love that. So but as soon as we wrap up with you, we'll go upstairs. And we think between now and 1 o'clock, they will wrap that up and start these jurors coming in. I'll be on clickondetroit.com with a live blog going. You know, we don't get the names of the jurors, but we can say, okay, up number one, Christy, is a salesperson for the auto industry, a middle-aged person who did not pay much attention to the trial, who is a handgun owner or a long gun owner and likes to hunt and has kids, that kind of thing. So we'll be able to get a sense of who is being possibly considered for this jury. The Jennifer Crumbley jury was all, for the most part, mostly middle-aged, mostly white, one person of color, one person, the jury, four person was a younger woman, a hairdresser. So it was kind of a mixed bag there, but mainly there were parents and gun owners in that first jury. So we'll keep a close eye, keep a close ear, and really listen to what the answers those potential jurors give the two sides today.
Yeah, absolutely. The details are so important here. All right, Sean Lay, we'll let you get back up into the courtroom. Appreciate it. And again, follow Sean on clickondetroit.com. He'll be giving us kind of the minute-by-minute update with some of those details that are happening inside the courtroom.